visiting Sun Moon Lake.
Welcome back, everyone. Today we're doing a deep dive into Sun Moon Lake. Honestly, one of Taiwan's most cherished and really captivating spots.
Absolutely. And we've dug through quite a bit for this one. Official guides, personal takes from photographers, cycling blogs, boat tour info, even detailed weather pattern.
Yeah, a real mix. And our mission today really is to cut through all that information overload. We want to give you a clear but also, rich understanding of Sun Moon Lake.
Mm-hmm.
So whether you're actually planning a trip or maybe you're just curious why this lake gets so much attention, well, you're about to uncover some genuinely surprising stuff and practical tips. You'll feel really informed by the end.
Definitely. We'll get into everything is history, which is fascinating, the cultural side, best ways to actually see it, travel tips, even some spots that maybe aren't in every guidebook. You'll really get a feel for what our sources call Taiwan's pride.
Okay, let's kick things off. Sun Moon Lake, it's Taiwan's biggest lake, right?
Yeah.
And hugely popular, like 6 million visitors a year.
Yeah, that's the number we kept seeing. Puts it right up there with Alishan and Taroko Gorge, those major attractions.
Wow.
But what's interesting is the whole size thing. Geographically, okay, it's about 8 square kilometers.
Yeah.
Not huge compared to, say, the Great Lakes in North America.
Right.
But one source put it perfectly. Size isn't everything. It's more about the feeling of the place. Majestic is the word that comes up again and again. Taiwanese people are incredibly proud of it. And the descriptions, emerald water, blue skies, green mountains. One source even called it colorful Christmas. It just paints a picture.
It really does. And it's in Nautou County, right? Nestled in those foothills of the Central Mountain Range.
Exactly. Beautiful setting. And tying that back to the lake itself, it has this incredibly deep cultural meaning. It's holy land for the Thau people, the Shaozu.
Ah, yes, the Thau. One of Taiwan's indigenous groups, right? And quite a small one.
Very small. Fewer than 1,000 people. And their history, it's one of real resilience. They've faced struggles, from the Japanese occupation through attempts at what's called sinicization by the Chinese nationalists.
Wow. Efforts to assimilate them, basically.
Pretty much. But importantly, they gained official recognition in 2001, and their population is actually slowly starting to rise now, thanks to cultural presence.
Good to hear. And the name Sun Moon Lake, that has a story too, doesn't it? It wasn't always one lake.
No, originally it was 2 distinct lakes, one kind of round like the sun, the other crescent shaped like the moon.
Oh.
But then back in 1919, the Japanese colonial government built a dam, mostly for hydroelectric power, and that raised the water levels, merging the 2 lakes into the one we see today.
Ah, okay. So human intervention created the lake as we know it.
Right. But that also had a tragic side. It flooded Lalu Island Z, which was and still is sacred to the Thau people. Only the very tip of it remains visible now.
Oh, wow. That's quite poignant.
It really is. Sometimes, especially with recent water shortages, the levels drop and you can see this cracked, muddy shoreline revealing bits of that submerged history.
Even so, sounds like it's still a must visit.
Absolutely. Despite everything, the beauty is undeniable.
Okay, so you've made it to the lake. Now what? How do you get around the lake itself?
Easiest and cheapest. The round the lake bus, it just loops between the main spots like Shuishan and Xuanwan Temple. Pretty convenient.
But then there's the cycling. We kept hearing about the cycling.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That came up constantly, that road around the lake. Seriously, it's been called one of the top 10 most beautiful cycling routes in the world.
High praise.
And apparently, it lives up to it. Rentals are everywhere, especially in Shuish and Changshan. You can get regular bikes or e-bikes.
E-bikes sound useful for a 30-kilometer loop.
Highly recommended, honestly. The sources stress that there are some proper hills and even sections with stairs, though they have ramps built alongside for bikes.
Stairs with ramps. Good to know. Where are the best paths then?
Generally, the flatter, more scenic dedicated paths are just east and west of Shueisha. Still, a whole loop is doable, just be aware.
And boats. Can't forget the boats.
Definitely not. That hop-on, hop-off boat ticket is great value around NT300. Lets you hit the main piers, Shushi, Kwangwang Temple, eat a Thau whenever you want.
Like a water bus system.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They run frequently, especially on holidays, and often the captain gives a bit of commentary. Plus, you can even bring your bike on board some of them.
Ah, cool. Best of both worlds.
Yeah, for an extra NT100 or so, depending on the boat. Super handy for mixing cycling and cruising. Just, keep an eye on the weather services can stop for typhoons.
Right, standard precaution. Okay, so you've got your transport sorted. Where should you actually go? What are the must-sees?
Well, Shui's Village seems like the logical starting point for many. It's the main hub, lots of hotels, restaurants, bike rentals.
And good access to those nice cycling paths you mentioned?
Exactly. But for iconic views, you have to talk about Wen-wu Temple.
Ah, the one with orange roofs.
That's the one. Our sources basically said it offers the classic postcard view of Sun Moon Lake. Big, impressive temple, guarded by these bright red lions.
What's the history there? It was rebuilt, right?
Yeah, the original temples were torn down because of that dam project in 1919. This current one was rebuilt nearby in 1938 and then expanded in 69. You can climb up for the views.
What for? Descend?
Descend.
Yeah.
366 steps down to the lakeshore. Apparently one for each day of the year, plus one extra. Quite a climb back up.
Wow, okay. What else?
Between Wen-wu and the next village, Ida Thau, there's the 9 frog stack.
9 frogs?
Yeah, it's a statue in the water, literally 9 frogs stacked up. It's actually a water level gauge.
Oh, clever.
It is, and it's often a quieter spot, away from the main tour groups. Though, with the lower water levels recently, sometimes the frogs are just sitting entirely in the mud.
A different kind of view,
Sitting entirely in the mud.
A different kind of view, I guess.
Yeah. Then there's the Sun Moon Lake Ropeway. Super popular.
The cable car.
Yep. About a 7-minute ride, almost 2 kilometers long. The views are just stunning. Panoramic vistas of the lake, mountains, the Puli Basin.
Worth the ticket price.
Seems like it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Around NT300 for a round trip. Or it's included if you buy a ticket to the Formosan Aboriginal Culture Village at the other end.
Ah, right, the Culture Village. What was the take on that? It sounded a bit mixed.
It was. It's this combination of an indigenous culture center and, well, an amusement park.
Oh.
And some sources were quite critical, mentioning concerns about cultural appropriation and saying the theme park part wasn't anything special. It highlights that tricky balance between tourism and authenticity.
Definitely a common issue.
But almost universally, people recommended it. For one thing, the Cherry Blossom Festival in February.
Ah, why then?
Apparently the blossoms there are exceptionally pink, more vibrant than other places. So for that, gets a big thumbs up.
So if you want a more authentic cultural experience,
then the Kalapathau Performance Center in Ida Thau Village is the place to look. It's specifically focused on preserving cow customs.
Like their music, the pestle sounds.
Exactly. The Chu Yin. Very unique. They have performances of that, traditional dances, cultural tours, usually Thursday to Sunday, sometimes other days.
What about getting on the water besides the ferries?
Stand-up paddleboarding, SUPs getting really popular there. Some places offer dawn paddleboarding tours.
Ooh, sunrise on the lake. Sounds amazing.
Right. Super serene. Often they even offer drone photos as part of the package.
Nice. And swimming. Generally a no-go?
Generally prohibited, yeah. The water quality and currents can be issues. But there's one huge exception. The annual Sun Moon Lake Mass Swim.
Ah, I've heard of this. It's massive.
One of the biggest open water swims in the world. Happens in September. You need a group of 5. A flotation device is mandatory. Lots of sunscreen. It's a 3-kilometer swim right across the lake.
Wow. Quite the event. If you have transport and want something really special, drive out to Jinlongshan Trail and look out, especially for sunrise.
Why sunrise there?
The sea of clouds.
Oh.
That famous phenomenon where the clouds fill the valleys below you. Jinlongshan is supposed to be one of the best places near the lake to see it. Okay, what if you have a bit more time, maybe a car or scooter, anything worthwhile just beyond the immediate lake area?
Oh, yeah, definitely. The whole region has more to offer. Like just 30 minutes north is Puli.
The town you pass through on the bus from Taipei?
That's the one. It's a transport hub, but it also has some cool sites.
Yeah.
Like the Chung Tai Chan Monastery. Huge place. Apparently the world's tallest Buddhist monastery.
Wow, tallest.
Yep. And Puli also has the Paper Dome.
A dome made of paper.
Yeah, basically it's a church constructed mostly from paper tubes. Really unique architecture with an interesting backstory involving earthquake relief efforts.
Fascinating. What else around the area? Tea came up a lot.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Sun Moon Lake black tea is famous. Assam varieties especially. You can visit places like the Hohocha Tea Center, good for sampling teas, trying tea-flavored snacks.
Tea snacks? Like what?
I think tea-infused ice cream, cookies, that sort of thing. Or there's the antique Assam Tea Farm. More historical, you can see the old processing equipment, walk around a working farm, really dive into the tea culture. There's the Shuanglong Rainbow Bridge. It's Taiwan's longest and tallest suspension bridge.
Longest and tallest.
Yep. 342 meters long, 110 meters high. Great views of the twin Shuanglong waterfalls below.
Sounds impressive.
And then west of the lake, about 40 minutes drive, is the Jiji Wuchang Temple. This one has a really powerful story.
What happened there?
It completely collapsed during the huge 1999 earthquake. But instead of clearing the ruins, they left the collapsed structure as a monument.
Really?
Yeah, and they built a brand new temple right in front of it. It's this striking visual reminder of the earthquake's power and the community's resilience. Quite moving, apparently.
So, wrapping this up, what does this all mean for you? As you think about Sun Moon Lake, maybe planning that trip, maybe just filing it away as a fascinating place, here's something to mull over.
Okay.
In a place like this, so incredibly beautiful, where nature and history and culture are just so deeply intertwined, how do we, as visitors, as people benefiting from its beauty, how do we help maintain that charm? How do we respect those deep historical and cultural layers while we're there?
That's a really important question.
It is something to think about long after this deep dive ends. How do we travel thoughtfully in places like Sun Moon Lake?